When Rory from Simulated Leviathan speaks, we all listen. This video is titled, Why They Must Keep Netanyahu Alive.
Today we're going to talk about a dangerous theory. And that's all it is, okay? It's just a theory. Some might call it a conspiracy. To begin with, we have to talk about this guy, Benjamin Netanyahu. Now, he said some crazy shit, and we'll get into that in a minute. He said some crazy shit recently, but many people believe that he is dead. Have you heard this? People saying that he is...
I've heard that. There's been a lot of AI slop, him giving speeches with 6 fingers. I don't know what's going on. Have you guys seen Netanyahu? Does anyone know where Netanyahu is? Can we do a roll call and find out if Netanyahu is here?
Dead? Well, let me tell you, even if this is true or not, he's not allowed to be dead just yet. He's not allowed to be dead because he has a task to complete. He has a mission to complete, and he will have to complete this mission, dead or alive. Okay? So let's get into this.
I ran some duos with him on League last night. He's good, bro. It's good to hear.
Now, of course, Benjamin Netanyahu is the Prime Minister of Israel. And...
you know, Netanyahu is one of the only people that I've seen where his voice, like, really took me by surprise. I did not expect him to talk like that.
under his leadership, Israel has been committing a lot of, shall we say, preemptive self-defense. A lot of preemptive self-defense. That's one way of saying it, right? Preemptive self-defense. And Benjamin Netanyahu, old Bibi here, he's been trying to drag America into a war with Iran.
Netanyahu! You know what I don't like? The idea that the Kushners and Netanyahu go way back. You want to get a little conspiratorial? You don't even have to. You can just look at Wikipedia.
He's been trying to use America as a golem against his enemies in Iran. You know, Iran, they're no real threat to anyone in the West, in America.
For real, he's the best Ziggs player I've ever seen. That joke is going to go over a lot of people's heads. Holy shit, is that funny?
But he's been saying that they are a threat and they will have nukes any day now. He's been saying that for 30 years. Now, in a recent speech, with this in mind, he said some crazy shit, right? Here's I'm gonna read it to you because I don't want to play the video because of YouTube, but I'll read it to you. Now, also, I want you to bear in mind this as well. The US is mostly a Christian nation, and he wants to drag them. He wants to pull them into a war, right? Bear that in mind.
So, how are they able to do this? Because if we, the people, can recognize the PSYOP in real time, then surely our government knows what's going on, which leads me to believe there's a vested interest. Someone's got to shoot it to me straight.
He says this: Jesus Christ has no advantage over Genghis Khan. If you are strong enough, ruthless enough, and powerful enough, evil will overcome good. Now, if you want to drag a Christian nation into a war to help you, I don't think talking about Jesus Christ in this way and saying he has no advantage over Genghis Khan,
That's an insane quote.
I don't think that's a good move, especially if you want $200 billion from this country as well. I don't think that's a good move. What do you think? He also said this: you're going to be blackmailed in ways you can't even imagine. You're going to be blackmailed in ways you can't even imagine.
Chad, is that real? Is that true? Can we get a fact check on those two quotes?
Now, when he says this, he's talking about Iran blackmailing the world. But when you think about blackmail, does Iran come to mind? Do you instantly think Iran when you think the word blackmail? You know, an advanced blackmail operation against leaders and prominent people around the world, like a kind of a sting of some
Mr. Whoops. When I think of blackmail, you know, we don't have to go there.
kind. Do you think about Iran? Iran doesn't come to my mind, okay? And when you look at this speech, the idea of Jesus Christ would not be able to overcome Genghis Khan, the idea of good being beaten by evil.
Yes, Benjamin Netanyahu did say that, though he was quoting an American historian to make a point about military strength. The historian Will Durant's book, The Lessons of History. Hey, I read that book. I knew that sounded familiar. Because in that chapter, he asserts that history technically doesn't care whether it was Jesus or Genghis Khan. The fact of the matter is, historically speaking, might is right in that it writes history. Power's power, no matter which way you slice it. Now, if you want to get into the semantics of hard power versus soft power.
And blackmail, right? When you think about this, you can see how Benjamin Netanyahu, how he sees the world, his perspective on how the world is run, and how the natural state of
History belongs to who claims it. That's right. And that is one of the only books I read this year, because you have to be careful about reading too many books. Otherwise, all your thoughts become someone else's.
mankind is. He basically has this might makes right attitude. In fact, this speech, Genghis Khan, Jesus Christ, this could be pulled out of the book, Might is Right. Do you know what this book is? Now, this is a very controversial book. It was written in the late 1800s. It was supposedly penned by Ragnar Redbeard. So as you can tell, it's kind of a parody. I would say it's a parody of extreme social Darwinism. And I'll just read some of it for you, just so you understand where this book's coming from, right? Hate for hate and ruth for ruth, eye for eye and tooth for tooth, scorn for scorn and smile for smile, love for love and guile for guile, war for war and woe for woe, blood for blood and blow for blow. So yeah, the book goes hard. The book goes hard, I'm not going to lie. Although the book is very cool, I wouldn't take it too seriously. It glorifies the warrior spirit. It glorifies strength overall. But at the same time, it's extremely nihilistic, anti-humanitarian.
Not ideal. Suboptimal.
And elitist, I would say. If everyone followed this book, the world would be complete chaos, right?
That's where Christianity has the W. Because if everyone follows that framework of morality, you're going to have a way better time. Might is right does not work.
A good way of reflecting how the world is. But I would say this is how Bibi sees the world. In fact, you could summarize the book like this. If you are strong enough, ruthless enough, and powerful enough, evil will overcome good. That's how he sees the world, and that's reflected in this book. But at the same time, this book is quite anti-Christian, right? It says that he who turns the other cheek is a cowardly dog, a Christian dog. And also, it says quite anti-Semitic stuff. Yeah, it says quite anti-Semitic stuff. Now, is that related to this video? Not at all. But what it does say...
Nietzsche's critique of Christianity is that it's slave morality and it goes against the will to power, which is an interesting critique, although you can probably debunk that rather quickly.
Is that you can use religion in order to control people and manipulate people. You can use religion to manipulate people. And it says that the world is caught in a Semitic spider web.
Now, using religion to control people is one of the oldest plays in the book. And the way to dismantle this is to analyze if people believe something is a cult or an actual religion. What even is religion, right? We had proto-pagan, Zoroastrian deity slop, Judaism, Christianity, Islam. Everyone's pointing a finger at each other saying, no, my God is the real God. Your God is the fake God. But then you can actually historically analyze where things came from, right? Take Scientology, for example. That's not a religion. That is a fantasy writer's amalgamation, L. Ron Hubbard. And yet we can observe that people are controlled by it because they don't have inner monologues and they don't have free will. They are retarded. You can look at Mormonism, same thing. Joseph Smith, the golden plates, false prophet, cult as fuck. I would say Christianity has a much greater claim to the mythos of religion. You have a messianic figure. You have historical documentation. You have the church. You have holy wars. You have the crusades. You know what Islam was referred to before Islam by the founding fathers? Mohammedism. And they were known as Mohammedans. Fascinating.
I didn't say that. The book said it, okay? Now, with this might is right or might makes right mindset, what do you think you would be capable of? What do you think Benjamin Netanyahu would be capable of with this mindset? I would say some fucked up shit. Not only that, what would he be capable of if he had an elitist mindset towards his tribe or his nation? I would say he would do anything for his nation in order to achieve his goals, right? Including
Did he speak on Orthodox? I didn't really separate Catholicism and Orthodoxy. I just referred to it as Christianity, but I would put them in the same sphere as having a much more mythical claim to religion. But there is an argument to be made. These systems do control people. There are moral codes. There are do's and don'ts. There are restrictions. They are ways to live. And some people would argue that people need religion. They need guidance. They need a compass. They need a fabric that binds them together. Without it, you fall into social Darwinism, might is right, and chaos. Pandemonium manifest, postmodern dystopia.
Hypothetically, now this is just a hypothetical. Let's say you wanted a European nation to help you in the war effort against Iran. Let's say you wanted Britain to join in the war and fight on your behalf. What would you do? Well, hypothetically, I would attack a small air base in the middle of the ocean that belonged to Great Britain, and I would blame it on Iran, therefore bolstering the war effort against Iran and maybe dragging Britain into a war.
What? Chat, did that happen? Dude, is that real? He said that pretty fast. I'm going to rewind that. He's insinuating a potential false flag.
Anything for his nation in order to achieve his goals, right? Including, hypothetically, now this is just a hypothetical. Let's say you wanted a European nation to help you in the war effort against Iran. Let's say you wanted Britain to join in the war and fight on your behalf. What would you do? Well, hypothetically, I would attack a small air base.
Hypothetically, of course.
In the middle of the ocean that belonged to Great Britain, and I would blame it on Iran, therefore bolstering the war effort against Iran and maybe dragging Britain into a war. I would do something like that, hypothetically, if I had this might makes right attitude. But I don't. Now, here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. What is their goal? What is Bibi Netanyahu's goal on behalf of his tribe? What is he trying to achieve in the Middle East?
What is this? Expanding it from the Nile to the Euphrates?
Now, when you look at a map, you can see the plan for Israel in the Middle East is plain as day, right? It's so obvious. Israel has allied itself with Egypt, Jordan, Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, the UAE. It has these nations under its thumb. It has successfully toppled Iraq and Syria. And as you can see, there's just one puzzle piece missing. Iran. And once they have Iran, once they have all these nations under their thumb, they will have so much power, it's unreal. See, the Middle East, not only does it have a shitload of resources like oil and gas.
It is just the worst biome, though. They're fighting over sand.
Minerals and stuff like this. It also has the trade routes that connect the East to the West. It has all the trade routes between it. It's an unreal amount of power that Israel will have once they accomplish this goal. And if you don't think this is true, all you have to do is see that it's on the badges of Israeli soldiers. They have this greater project map on their badges.
Chat, is that real? I've seen that before, but can we be sure of anything? It is real?
Like, it's plain as day. It's right there in your face. And when Netanyahu says that you will be blackmailed in ways you can't imagine, he's talking about Iran blocking the Strait of Hormuz, the shipping lane above their country. They've currently blocked that, and they're also charging extortionate prices to allow ships to go through it, right? That's the blackmail he's talking about. Now, when Israel have this power...
I just want to make sure I got that right. From the Nile to the Euphrates. This is why you watch Third Eye Global. I give you the information you need in real time. Golan Heights, West Bank, Gaza Strip. And the second definition referring to a much larger region stretching from the Nile to the Euphrates.
You think they won't do the same shit? They'll do the same thing, right? See, the thing is, Israel are really pissed off because they chose the only little bumfuck country in the Middle East that doesn't have oil or resources. It doesn't really have anything. And that pissed them off. So they want the rest of the pie. They want the power. They want the rest of it, right? So that's the plan. Now, you probably already know all this because a lot of people know this now. People are waking up to what's happening in the Middle East and what has been happening in the Middle East for the past 30, 40 years. You know, people were directing their anger towards Syria and Iraq and other countries like...
Tucker brought it up during one of his interviews and they couldn't deny that goal. Do you know the name of the guest? I think I know who you're talking about. Tucker's also on this weird astroturfing of Islam campaign. He's like, I think they're actually doing better than the West.
But now we are seeing that there's a common denominator for all these issues in the Middle East, and it's Israel. It's Israel. right? But here's the thing. Israel don't give a fuck. They don't seem to give a fucking monkeys if everyone hates them. They do not care. They are
The guest that he said that to was Ben Shapiro. Are you psyoping me right now?
creating themselves. They are making themselves almost like an enemy of the world. But they don't seem to care. Even if they start World War III to achieve their goals, they do not care. Now, what's this all about? Now, some people are saying that they're doing this on purpose, like it's some sort of prophecy that they must fulfill.
Is the argument here you become insufferable and evil, and then everyone hates you, and then it justifies your actions even more? It's like a double layer psyop.
Understand that perspective. I understand that perspective. But I think there's another plan in play. And this plan revolves around Benjamin Netanyahu. See, he's been through all this for the past 30 odd years. He's been there the whole time. And they are going to use him.
I mean, Iran has been indiscriminately attacking everyone in the region. I think their command structure has collapsed and their military is operating in silos.
As a scapegoat to justify all this. They will use Benjamin Netanyahu to achieve their goals. Once they've toppled Iran and once they've conquered the Middle East, they've got the Middle East.
One of the scarier things that seems to be coming true, I can sense the vibe in the air digitally, is the Overton window shifting and people are allowed to notice and maybe even realize. Some even observe. Why would they let that happen? I don't like it.
Least under their thumb one way or another. Once they've achieved that, they will then blame everything that they've been doing, everything that they've done for the past 30 odd years. They will blame it on Benjamin Netanyahu. They will use him as a scapegoat for all this. Do you see where I'm going with this? Do you see where I'm going with this? You build up Benjamin Netanyahu as the evil guy, as the tyrannical leader in Israel. And you blame everything on him over the past 30 years. And then, once you've accomplished the goal, once you conquered the Middle East...
AI is moving towards synthetic telepathy and mind control. They're building a list of mass surveillance. We're going to be controlled either way.
Then you elect a new guy, and he says all the right things. He says we should be friends with everyone in the Middle East. We should create peace in the world. He seems like a new...
The Tucker interview was with Mike Huckabee, the U.S. ambassador to Israel. Do we have that clip?
You've appealed to Genesis. Genesis 15 says it's Abram, it's pre-Abraham, it's Abram, receives from God the news that his descendants will inherit the land. And you tell me as the theologian if I'm getting this wrong, but from the Euphrates to the Nile. And that would include like basically the entire Middle East.
Christian Zionism. I want to go back because that's where we started.
I'm not going to let you off on this because you have said it 3 times that God gave this land to this people. What does that mean? Does Israel have the right to that land? Because you're appealing to Genesis. You're saying that's the original deed.
It would be fine if they took it all.
We're so fucking cooked. He just said it, plain as day. It would be fine if they took it all. It's a dangerous game they're playing.
Leader of Israel that everyone likes. And
My main problem with all of this stems from ethno-religious centrism. You're just never going to get me on that side, dude. It's this tribalistic us versus them dynamic. It is othering other people by design. It is supremacist coded.
saying and doing all the right things. But by then, the job is already done. They've already destroyed the Middle East. They've already done the damage. The damage is done. They've accomplished their goal already. And therefore, people will forgive Israel. People will blame everything on Benjamin Netanyahu. But it's the same people. It's the same government. Now, can you see why I said that even if Benjamin Netanyahu was dead, they would have to keep him alive? They have to keep him alive using artificial intelligence. They would have to do this because they still
Zombie Netanyahu.
need him. They still need his evil presence in order to accomplish their goals. The job is not done yet. Once the job is done, then he can go away. Then they can blame everything on him. See what I'm saying? Now, I'm not saying he is dead. I don't know if he's dead. I don't know. Does anyone know? I know that a lot of the recent video footage of him does look like it was AI generated, so that is a bit strange, but...
You know what's also strange? The Middle East, astroturfs, everything on social media. Like, Iran and all of these Gulf nations, whenever they're, like, warring or under attack, like, disinformation and slop is their only defense. Because they just get fucking leveled by the wrath of the U.S. and Israel. Like, you could observe this in real time on X. All they have left is that, like, oh, we're winning. And that shit's tweeted from a fucking cave. That shit is coming from a bunker. It's kind of sad. There will be, like, Arma 3 footage of a plane intercepting missiles, and it'll be positioned as, like, real footage with thousands of likes and comments being like, whoa.
Who knows? I don't know. This is all just a fun theory as well. I don't know what Israel's goal is in the Middle East. This is just a fun theory from some random Welsh guy. You can ignore all this.
Guys, we're winning. It's so dark.
But saying that, can you see that they are building Bibi up as the scapegoat? Can you see that they are building him up as the evil presence that is doing all this? I can see this. Some of the stuff he is saying is so outlandish. Some of the stuff they are doing is so outlandish. It's insane, bombing schools and hospitals. They will be more than happy to have someone to blame all that on once they've reaped the benefits. Can you see this? And you might think that Netanyahu would be unhappy with his legacy being one of...
What do you call this? A useful idiot? But it's like self-inflicted? What is the name of this psyop? It's like shouldering all the blame to then use it as a scapegoat. A fall guy? Now, I was talking politics last night. It seems like the tide is shifting away from Vance and towards Rubio. But I'm thinking, is Rubio being positioned as like the war hawk to prime Vance as having like a clean slate for his 2028 run? Or are they trying to push Rubio as the 2028 candidate?
Scapegoat or evil presence. You might think he would be unhappy about this, but that's not the case.
Are either of them strong enough to win the presidency regardless? Well, it's the only, that's who they got. That's, in order for this Trumpism arc to be carried over, it has to be somebody from the current administration. It's like playing good cop and bad cop.
He is more than happy to be the scapegoat his tribe requires. He is more than happy to be the sacrificial lamb, the mulk offering, the burnt offering that his tribe requires in order to succeed. He will die a very happy man, knowing that he has accomplished his goals, and his children will continue to live prosperous lives under the protection of the tribe. It will continue that way. He is more than happy to be this. He will die a happy man.
I think the MAGA movement dies and gets sealed away to provide room for a transformation to something more digestible. I doubt it. I think Trump fundamentally changed American politics forever. And you can even observe this in the way that people talk, in the way that they chirp each other. It's like this weird celebrity piss contest. If you're not parasocially abusing social media and memes, you're not going to win as president. It's full retard from here on out.
See, Israel don't play by the rules. That's the thing. They think that they are above the law, international law. To be honest, a lot of countries don't abide by international law, to be honest. It's a bullshit thing anyway, right? Especially America. But usually when America break international laws, it's on behalf of Israel anyway, so that's funny. This is their attitude. Statute books and golden rules were made to fetter slaves and fools. So laws and rules that are being put in place, they are for the cattle. They are for the lower class.
This is how I feel, like ideologically. Even with like something like taxes and shit. All the elites, Andrew Tate speaks of this, like the Matrix in this regard is real. They don't play by the same rules. They're not on the same game. They're on a different private server. We are fucking slugs.
They are not for us. We can do what we want in order to achieve our goals. And usually they do. These bad people, they rise to the top, you know? And the reason for that is the world lieth in the sway of the wicked one. It's as simple as that. The world is kind of ruled by evil, and evil people rise and good people fall. I wish I believed in karma. Unfortunately, I don't believe in karma. It doesn't seem to be, I don't know, who knows? Maybe there'll be ants in the next life or some shit. I don't know. I don't believe in hell either, which sucks. So it looks like they're just...
It's pay to win against free to play. I'm cooked. I can't fucking compete.
Going to rise to the top, and they're going to die wealthy, but, you know, they'll be knobheads. So that's just the case. Bibi will die a knobhead, thinking that he's achieved something, but he will just die a knobhead.
Powerful equals evil is stupid. I think there's something to be said there. There's a lot of powerful, evil people. And there's a lot of evilly powerful people as well. But weak equals good is the opposite. Well, this is what I was talking about with Christianity. The meek will inherit the earth. It is the opposite of might is right. It is pacifism. It is gentle. Jesus was a shepherd who would guide sheep. I have a lot to think about. Perhaps Christianity acts as a framework to cope with the fact that might is right, and this material world is for the evil ones, essentially giving hope to the afterlife. Is that what faith is? I don't know. That would be utterly depressing. That would fucking suck